Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid. An examination of the Larry Reid Live show perspective. Purchase a copy today by logging on to LarryReidLive.com. That's LarryReidLive.com. Patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let me tell you why you should join. You will gain access to master level teaching and coaching, which includes Sunday morning prayer calls with Dr. Reid, Wednesday night breakdown with Dr. Reid, the prophets and care pastors, divine partnerships and networking with the like-minded community, exclusive content, which includes daily posts, ranging in topics that are too expansive to share on Dr. Reid's public platform, including money, health and wellness, entrepreneurship, relationships, prophecy, prayer, and more. Become a member today by logging on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live today. Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of the MBN Network, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Trap Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus. Join with people from around the world praying 15 minutes every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 667-770-1402, code 974-8029#. Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 404-999-7527. That's the words LRL to 404-999-7527. And get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, then download the Patreon app and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
We're about to have a conversation. All right, welcome to Larry Live. My name is Larry D. Reid, and I'm the host of Larry Reid Live. And this is your most favorite digital entertainment news and talk show that is out here on the social media streets. What I need for you to do right now is to hit like and to hit share so that everybody that has liked, over 250,000 people that hit like on the Facebook page and the 141,000 people that have subscribed to us on YouTube. The only way that any of those people have a chance of knowing that I'm on live, number one, is that all of you guys who don't want to miss the live show to interact in the chat, you've got to text excuse me, LRL to 404-999-7527. Let me repeat. 404-999-7527. Text just the letters and caps, LRL. Text that to me, and I'll text you whenever I am live. If you guys hit like and share, it'll cause those people who have hit like on the page, give them some kind of chance of being able to see it. But if you want the best way is to text me so I can text you whenever I'm live. Because these numbers and these followers and subscribers and stuff, it used to mean a lot. It don't mean nothing no more because they are almost 100% controlling who can see every last one of your posts and who cannot. So take a moment right now and text just 3 capital letters LRL to 404-999-7527 and that'll help fix that. Okay, I came live to just discuss one thing because of a post that I made. Let me say this. The only darn time that you will see me come up here and address something that somebody else is saying on their page or in my comment section is if it benefits my work. What do you mean? My work is to create conversation. And if your comment or whatever you are saying, your commentary, it will aid my work in some way or form, then I may make mention of what it is that you done said in the comment section. If I can turn it to content right quick or on your page. Other than that, I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna do my best not to cut up. I'm putting Jeremy's upstairs because it's Sunday. So we're just gonna do the best we can. But other than that, I'm not talking about what you're talking about on your platform, because then you will get the use of my platform free. And Tadara and Ethelene ain't never made no stupid children. Well, maybe for one, but not me. I'm not one of the stupid ones. One of them other ones might be stupid, but not me. So there ain't no way up on the sun. And I know my brothers and sisters listen like, huh? Which one of us you calling stupid? Everybody who ain't me. I'm playing. But anyway, there I go. That quick already. I'm just coming on down. So I need to say something, and I'm going to highlight some of these people in my comment section, but I'm not going to talk about the raggedy, slewfoot, ashy-heeled, no teeth having, ain't never seen paste on anybody brush and put in your mouth folk that is on the internet who now have a different vendetta towards me. It is so interesting how things just shift. Shift happens even without the T, the F in it. Shift. And it says this right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Even without the F in it, shift to be happening. It's interesting that now that people know that I am a pastor as well as an entertainer and commentator, now they are shifting how they attack me now. And it's very interesting to me. And I just wanted to highlight it just for our amusement. Because I talk about whatever happens in social media, they will wrongfully credit me with exposing or breaking stories, which I have never done in my entire life as a commentator, and not even in my personal life. I never done it, but they credited that to me. So what they did was throw me in the gossip world of YouTube. Yes, they did. Threw me over there and then began to say, he's an enemy of the church. He's trying to destroy the church, when that is not true. But a lot of dumb people, that's the best way I can put it, stupid, unread, won't Google, allergic to a book and to Googleations, wouldn't even look for their darn self and just believe whatever the pastor said in the pulpit. But I guess for some reason, people are starting to realize, okay, they ain't know what they were talking about. They didn't want Reid to do. So now that they know something that has been in place since I was a teenager, I have been pastoring since I was a teenager. I'm 45 years old. So count how many years of pastoring. And I'm not saying that I was doing the pastoring that some of y'all was doing. I'm talking about real for real pastoring, like a real church. Some of y'all bishops and apostles got invisible churches. I see bishop and apostle before your name, but I ain't seen video of you preaching at no church that is yours. It's always somebody else's church. So you the apostle and prophet and pastor of invisible churches. And that's all right. And I guess it's okay by y'all, because y'all keep calling them by their title that they done went and pulled up out of a hat or out their ass and then put it in front of their name. And y'all just, it's all right. Mm-hmm. But I guess now that they realize, oh, wait a minute. He's a pastor and been pastoring for years, and he's still pastoring. So let's kill him as somebody who isn't preaching the truth, you know. Let me say this and say it clear. Me and your pastor is not the same. And the dizzy, ashy healed, no good, stank breath, bald headed, crusty neck, unwashed crotch preachers and pastors that are saying, I'm not preaching the truth. We are not the same caliber of people, and we're not in the same work. We're not even called to the same people. See, you looking for folk easy to be programmed that will come into your church and believe whatever you say and will just follow whatever. No, I like thinking people. Y'all push the women to the back so that you can lead them and you be their leader. No, I'm pushing the women to the front. You want to kick the gays out the church. No, the gays are in my church and I'm putting them on staff. You want to tell the people who have alternative lifestyles and show up as different genders. I don't have no problem with that at all. You don't want people to smoke, drink, cuss, all of that. I don't care if y'all do that. I just don't do that. My concern is making people the best version of themselves, growing their business, cause them to know why they were born and get to doing that work. And while they're doing that, I'm just providing empowerment and education, particularly around prayer, meditation, money, sexual purity and conduct, love. That's basically it. Yes, I get into all of the prophetic and the spiritual mysticism and all that kind of stuff. I absolutely do. But the root of what I'm doing is getting people to be their best self, get in relationship with themselves and God by way of Jesus Christ now. Because that's my path. So that's the path that I know to teach. There are other paths, and there are actually people in my community that practice other paths, but they still look to me as their leader, their prophet, their coach, and their mentor. I think that's dope. So it doesn't even make sense for you to start trying to hold me to something that I'm not even confessing I'm holding to. I'm not doing church the way that y'all do church. I'm not called to do that. You're called to do that. And I don't give no judgment on it until you start coming over here trying to criticize what the hell I'm doing. Now, at that moment, that's when I get to want to drag what the hell you got going on. Because really what you're doing is a crock load of bullshit. And it amounts to nothing. And you only shouting and churching the people. These people, money ain't changed. Their minds ain't better. Their lives still ain't no better. They ain't no closer to Jesus, no closer to God than it was for they met Johann. They're just better at coming to church and playing the role. And that's all right for y'all. But you can't do that and even be a member of my church. Hell, you got to do an application to join. And after 2 years, you're getting consistent mentorship. And if you have not advanced financially, mentally, emotionally in your life, even physically, that's right. In my community, there is a fitness and wellness plan you're supposed to have a part of your life. If you're not doing that, we let you go. So then go join your dumb church. Because y'all a bunch of dummies. And you can be fat as all get out and be unhealthy, diabetes and diabetes. You got both of them. And your high blood pressure is high as a Georgia pine. And it's all right. Just keep on coming to church. But I don't play that. I don't like nastiness. I don't like out of order. And I sure am allergic to dumb stupid. So I'm not called to that. That is what y'all are called to. Yes, I'm addressing these pastors. I'm not calling your name because don't nobody know you. I'm addressing these Christian commentators, yes, without mentioning your name. But this gives me an opportunity to explain what I do and compare it to your pile of shit. Because that's what it is. You call it ministry. It ain't nothing but a big old palace. That's all it is. It's not even working. It only works for a few. It doesn't work for the masses and for the many. That's why they're not in your church. Is that getting pretty clear as I'm talking the more? I'm talking a little bit more and get as plain as I possibly can get. But this is what I want to say to everybody that is online. I want you to help make the world smarter by telling your nearest dummy that they are indeed stupid. Please, ma'am, please, sir, help me. Help me. Make the world smarter by telling your nearest dummy that they are indeed stupid, because I don't think they're being diagnosed and they don't know it. They're just running around here in my comment section, in your comment section, just wreaking havoc, spreading stupid dumbness all throughout Obama and Beyonce's internet. I need for them to go to school, jail, or hell. Choose one of them. But get the hiccup out my air, because you bringing my vibratory frequencies low, and I'm starting to feel as dumb as you. That stuff is catchy. Y'all can let these stupid folks stay around you want to, you're going to catch it. You start sneezing. Achoo! I can't remember what I was saying. Stupid is coming to punch you. You ain't got no memory recall. It's catchy. I'm trying to tell you, it's worse than COVID-19, 20, and 21. You got to protect yourself. Hide away in a book where stupid can't find you. So that's what don't let these dummies be out here on the internet thinking they know what the hell they're talking about. Stop them from posting, Lord, please. Stop them from talking, Lord. If they won't shut up, just protect their ears from all that dumb shit they talking. They're just stupid as hell. If I could write a check for multiple millions of dollars, I would, to send all of you back to school, because you left too early. You had to jump up out of there around about 5th or 6th grade. Because there ain't nowhere in the world you walk around here with nothing in your dome piece like this. And ain't nobody detected that you was dumb a long time ago. This should have been done before 2023. Because I know this is an old dumb. This the dumb you put to the back of the stove, and it just, you cooking on the front, and it burned at the bottom of the pot, and then you can't get the dumb and stupid out at the bottom and throw the whole pot away. That's the kind of dumb that's out here on the street, and it's horrible. And I know it ain't supposed to be that way. Ain't no God in it. You can't tell me that. Ain't no God in that. So put the poster. Let me read the post of what I said. And I'm going right through the comment section. So if you sensitive, go ahead and start deleting your posts, because we're going through the comment section. We're going through the comment section. Hold on. I'm in studio. Oh, Lisa was here. She said she was looking for me. Okay. I didn't know it. All right, so we're about to go through this comment section. I'm going about my business. I got other stuff I got to do. But I just need to say a little, address some of this stupidness in the comment section. Let me read you my post. It says, "This is to that pastor. Your church is known for having good church and your praise breaks. My church is known for making millionaires and mystics. We are not the same." And yes, I'm talking to somebody that posted about my church and etc. Bye. First of all, let me say something to the pastors. I think I was doing praise breaks before it became a thing in the 90s. And we would get multiple millions of views. When I would go to one of our churches in other countries, and I'll be laying hands and casting out demons and folk, like giving them shots and stuff, however way the Spirit will move. And it would get so many views. And so I started getting booked everywhere to preach. And what I found out is that people wanted the experience that they saw online. They want me to bring that experience to their church. And I'm a teacher. And I like to reveal out of the text. So, and speak prophetically, like to the house. Then if that thing hit me, I prophesy to everybody in there moving if it hit me like that. But that's not my goal. And I started noticing that I was being brought in to bring that experience and to raise money. So what ended up happening, I stopped making those posts and I took them all down. And now you might can find maybe 5 praise break videos from the church I pastored, the physical church, or even my metaphysical or church in the cloud church now, because we get together every year and we have for some years now. And there's always a praise break. But I stopped posting it because what I realized is that it took away celebrating the transcendent experience, the rapture of the heart and the mind and the spirit world when we get together for our African ring dances, because that's what it is, for our seances, that's what it is, for our rituals, because that's what it is. People would gravitate to that, but not teaching. And it changed the energy of what I was doing to where it was a lot of high praise, but then the money won't right. Let me tell y'all something, Pastor. I know it has worked like this for so long. You get people caught up in that transcendent thing, or you prophesying, and then you tell them to sow, and they bring the money. I know ministries was built like that. I mean, by the gazillions of dollars. I know that. But there's a different people that is in this world now, in Christianity, in spirituality. They ain't wired like that. That does not work for them. I'm going to say this. For the wealthy, that does not work. I'm going to say it again. For the wealthy and the educated, that charming that y'all do, that won't work on us. It doesn't work. Now, that works for a certain kind of person, but it does not work where millionaires sit. We look for a word, a teaching, a revelation, something that impacts us and calls us to be different, live different, and think different, for us to invest our money in or to plant or sow our money in. If I come into your church, there's no telling what God will tell me to sow. And some of you in the chat, pastors, y'all can put it in there if you want to, but I ain't going to tell it. But I could walk into your church, and I have been in an event. When I got there, I didn't plan to. And the Spirit says, sow $63,000 or sow $100,000. And I've done it. Or sow 30 or 10. Because it wasn't no shout, no dance. There had to be a vision articulated. I had to have a revelation of the purpose of that church, or it was something that was said that was so impacting to me in my mind, which is the largest part of your soul, which lets me know y'all niggas ain't even saved. Your soul ain't been saved because you're still stupid. The largest part of your soul is your mind. Your mind ain't even been renewed, reprogrammed, and re-educated by spirit. You ain't even saved. You got church ghosts, not the Holy Ghost that come from Jesus Christ. But something was said that impacted my soul, my mind, and I sold and planted into that. So I'm trying to help some of y'all while I'm reading y'all at the same time. Ain't nobody fooling up with that kind of going on no more. That's not nobody real wealth. I wish you good would go into the bank and say, oh, and just get all stirred as much as powerful, try to make them feel it. They may be crying, because they can feel the spirit. That's okay. Now, give me this loan. It's not going to work. They need your portfolio. They need to see exactly what you have planned. How much are you bringing in? Your wherewithal in order to make this repayment happen. All you pastors that's taking up offerings like that and getting people to give like that, you are destroying them financially. Because they need to sow because of what you have caused them to know. Not because of what they feel. And I can take it even higher than that to get into the offering just by obedience. But let's leave it right there. So if you want to be known for praise breaks, if you want to be known for that and for your music department, fine, post all of that. Post your altar work every time you prophesy to somebody and altar work. You better be able to keep that going, because that's where people is going to decide whether they're going to put their money in or not. And that has a shelf life. It could be a year. It can be 5 years. It can be 20 years. But I don't want to be in the work that has a shelf life. I want to be in the work that is going to live and live and live and live forever and forever and forever. That's the kind of work I want to be in. I don't want to be in that craziness. Do I believe in bucket and hucker button and yeah. But you're going to get this here word. You're going to get this word. You're going to understand this word. And then faith without works is dead. When we hear the word of faith, the word of prophecy, the first work is works. The first work you do is the seed. You respond to what you have heard with your seed, and you sow as a result of what you have heard into what you have heard, and as a result of what it's really worshiping over the word you have heard. Your first act of worship is the seed. It's the offering. I know y'all into this offering, but you're not into this offering, which is the offering that proves who you are. Are you worshiping in truth and in spirit or not? This is not the judgment. This is the judgment. You know, I'm probably talking on a level that's probably a little bit too elevated for out here. Maybe it's a little Patreon-ish. Yeah. So let me tell you what they're probably going to start doing now. Now, they've already tried to sell the enemy of the church versus understand I'm a church critic, which critics are needed because they make whatever they're criticizing better. They've already tried to put every sin up under every crime you can think of, financial, everything against me. That ain't work. So now what they're going to do is try to Carlton Pearson me and Bishop Bernard Jordan me and try to make me wrong for my doctrine and my teachings. But do you know how stupid and dumb that is? You can't do me like you've done others. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. But while you trying, I might decide to come up here and drag it so I can use it for a talking point and give me an opportunity to say something that I already want to say anyway, like I'm doing right now. And I think I'm doing pretty good naturally. I ain't cutting up too bad, am I? I'm doing pretty good, thank you. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not even going off like that because it ain't worth it. But I'm asking everybody to help me make the world smarter by telling your nearest dummy that they are indeed stupid, because I don't think they have been diagnosed. George said, it ain't going to work. I got my chair ready. Yeah, it don't make a lot of sense. And Kendall, before I leave now here, let me record that video for Carlton. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there was something else I was gonna say. Is that it? That can't be it, is it? Excuse me. Oh, let me say this, then I'm gonna go. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Oh. Someone asked me a question about Beyonce. So let me make this statement. Every pastor that you hear and preacher talking about Beyonce worships other gods is lying. There's no other way I can put this. They're 100% lying. I don't know why they're lying. I don't know the purpose of them lying. I would hate to think they're doing it just because she is popular and they want to clout chase, connect themselves to her, but it's a lie. I want you to put in the chat, Beyonce is a Christian, because that's the truth. Don't go asking me a whole lot of questions, but just hear what I said. You can ask, patrons can ask me. Beyonce is a Christian, and you guys need to stop lying. I'm gonna tell you who else is a Christian y'all lie on. Oprah. When these people say that they are Christian, respect what they say. You can say, well, they say they are Christian, but I don't believe that a Christian should do X, Y, Z. That's fine. But then you don't do what y'all doing. That ain't even kind. And it really don't even help grow the faith, because Oprah and Beyonce being Christians is a good look because they're actually good American citizens. They pay bills, they give people jobs, they support and offering and tithe and donations to the Christian community. It's a good look if we just let them stay Christians. In fact, we'll take Beyonce and Oprah and we'll actually give y'all Jamal Harrison Bryant. You can have him. He for the streets. Y'all can have him. You can let me not single him out. But we'll take Beyonce and Oprah over here in Christendom. Y'all take all our pastors that don't take care of their children. How about that? That'd be better. That's a better look for us. Y'all say Tyler Perry ain't no Christian. Give us Tyler Perry. We'll take Tyler Perry. And y'all can have all of our pastors that abuse their wives. Yes. And cheat on them. Y'all can have them because they look better as Christians. It's a better look for us to have them as Christians than these hoes we got for pastors. That's what I see. So all these preachers and pastors that's saying that Beyonce is worshiping these other gods. And I love the way their white soul tells them that she's into African spirituality, like it's something gross, dark, and antichrist, and it is not. I love that. Oh, she's worshiping Oshun and Orisha, and she's practicing some kind of art, and she talks about taking the pages of the Bible and using them for her menstrual cycle. Well, you guys, do you not know that that is artistic expression? Because she's trying to make a point about religion and paying homage to the faith practices of indigenous people where you come from. It's beginning your charity at home. To not do that, according to our biblications, it makes you worse than an infidel. Because that charity And that honor, that love expression should begin with your own people. And that's what she's doing. She does it in the art, the things she will around her head and all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. But she's not bowing and well, let me say it like this. She is not denying Jesus. Y'all done the same thing with Carlton Pearson. You made him a heretic, all because he said hell ain't real. Not because he said Jesus ain't real, but because he said hell ain't real. Y'all is dumb as hell. He did not change who Jesus is. He did not defy his name. He just don't believe all the other stuff that you believe. If you get the opportunity to believe it, how come he can't have the opportunity to not? I'm not making heaven or hell a reason why I'm not embracing my brother. That's just not happening. Some of y'all mean-spirited demons, under the 2 posts I made about Carlton Pearson's death, I could not believe those of you that took that opportunity to talk about how he was on his way to hell because he didn't believe in hell and saying comments like, you're going to get to see if hell is real or not. Y'all are mean. And let me tell you this. You cannot tell me you know Jesus. I do not believe that because the God I know ain't like that. Y'all got a whole nother spirit on y'all. I don't know who you are, but you are absolutely not a representation of Jesus Christ. Absolutely not. So let's stop that lie. And whenever you hear somebody say that about Beyonce and Carlton and Oprah and Tyler, you need to know that this is somebody who refused to study at all, or they studied on a bend. What you mean? They were already bent towards what they were looking for when they went into studying, so they just went to find more that support what they thought. They did not go into study with an openness, with a clean slate. They didn't do that. I want to know, where do you, Pastor, think the money is for the vision that God gave you? If you think it's in those pews, use the dumbass. The money for what it is that God has called you to do is outside those 4 walls. And you have got to build a system or 2 or 3 on how to connect yourself to where the people are. There are more people online than there are in your churches, and all of your churches put together. So you have got to become creative, and you got to ask God for a spirit of ingenuity, innovation. You got to ask God for a glimpse into the future to see how you can set yourself up to stay employed for the next 10 years. To stay employed, business owners, for the next 20 years. Where you can be relevant to the future, relevant to the future that is tomorrow impending today. And if you don't do that, you may be walking around here alive, but your funeral was yesterday. Because when you are no longer relevant to the big picture, I don't know what there's no need for you. No, I made a video about Carlton's sickness. Oh, I'm sorry. Carlton is not dead. Did I say that? Maybe that was a misspeak. But you guys was talking about his death. Yeah. Maybe I misspoke. That's a bad place to misspeak, ain't it? Oh, Jesus. All right. So somebody said, I swore Oprah was into Scientology. You never Googled, Ruby. You listened to what somebody else said. She's never been a part of this Church of Scientology. That's Tom Cruise and a few other ones. No. I'm looking at y'all comments and I'm gonna get off this internet. Yeah, definitely not what's her name? Lord, I hope I didn't say that. I done killed Carter now. Yeah, I may have misspoke. Y'all got me so upset. All right. Let me drop this link and see if anybody want to say. Oh, look at Genesis. You better not say that out loud, especially with Bishop Senegal listening. He's gonna send you there. Somebody said, "No, Larry, you did not say that he died." I didn't think I did. I mean, but I'm not above a misspeak. Trust me. Uh, okay, if I'm your mentor, and I think these people are, I should be receiving your teruma. If I'm not receiving your teruma, I'm not your mentor. You're just talking. Oprah talks about God all the time. She periodically says universe, but we know what she means. She says universe for purpose of teaching, like I do. And that's another thing. Well, let me just rant a little bit about that. All of you that keep talking about the universe is anti-God, you, ma'am, sir, are dumb as hell as well. You're one of the stupids that is running around this world spreading dumbness as a disease because you refuse to just Google. See, 2023 stupid is on purpose. That means you made a decision that you will not inform yourself in the information age. Now, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was coming up in salvation, I had to read a paper Bible and then go to the library. I used to skip my lunch because I got saved at 15. I would skip my lunch and be fasting in the library with books on top of books in front of me. My baby mama, she's in the chat. She can tell you. Or any of some of the rest of the girls I was fooling around with at that time. Lord forgive me. I will tell you, they will come in there and try to sit with me and become the apple of my eye by getting involved in encyclopedias like I was at the time. Most of this stuff I can't even find no more. I just bought a book that was $200 from a library that was dissolving all their books to find something on revolts that were done by people that were enslaved. This disease of dumbness that's running around, it is horrible. The universe, let me say this very, very clearly. The universe is God. I use the big G. I'm going to teach you something. Let's go and say, oh, wow. No, it ain't. Yeah, you probably heard what some of the other preachers said. Some of our greatest preachers have rebuked the universe. But the universe, it should be spelled with a capital U because the universe is God. Let me break it down for you. The universe is the system of God. Type that. The universe is the system of God. So when somebody chooses to use universe in the place of God for the purpose of causing you to understand, asking, receiving, the law of reciprocity, or you have what you think, they're in order because all of those principles and laws are in the universe. Now, what I have heard is some of these foolish folk that call themselves awakening, and they replace God. I was praying to the universe. Now, that's stupid. Or I was asking the universe. Now, that's stupid. Because the universe is the system of God. You reap what you sow. That's the universe. What you put out is what you're going to get back. That's the universe. You can say God gonna bring it back to you, or what you put out, God gonna bring. You can say that too, but that's the system, the way of God. It's the law of seed, time, harvest. That's the universe. God created the universe, just like God created Jesus. So Jesus is God, and the universe is God. The tree is God, and God created the tree. God created me, and I am God. Let me drink some water and let y'all sit with that. Oh my God. I mean, it just gets worse and worse in the comment section. I'm like, what in the world? So you need, see, this is what you're going to have to do. I told y'all in 2020, I said, the person in your ear determines your year. And I said, give me a year. Let me be the person in your ear. And you didn't take me up on that. As a result, you missed stock options that made some people in my community millionaires. You missed changes that would happen in the housing market and with certain banks. You were not able to take advantage of having inside information and just placing your life in a safe place. For my community, the pandemic caused us to grow and be more of the good that God created us to be. The pandemic was allowed by God divinely to bring alignment into our life. It was never the devil. I don't care if it was planned. It was planned by man, but God used it for a much bigger plan. But if you didn't have the right person in your ear, that is not how your years went. Now, I'm going to say it again. You need to get the right person in your ear. Because if you don't, you're going to be in a whole mess at some point in time. The pastors was dragging codes at church. They lost 159,000 people because they did not inquire of a prophet. And you know we love Bishop Sheard, but he killed some folk. He ain't mean to, but he did. He ain't know no better. Dragging all these people to these funerals, folk dying back to back with no mask. And they lost over 120 leaders. Half of the general board having no profit. Because I told y'all in February that we will be in mask. It was airborne. They will be lying on TV. Keep your mask on. But then we have prophets, ain't gonna call no name, but it's tempting, to come out June of 2020. Somebody's gonna be gone by the end of the summer. Kenneth Copeland did this. Another preacher did the same thing. I thought y'all would learn when these folk were saying Donald Trump was gonna be president, and then Biden won, and they kept saying that he was gonna be the president. Biden, he is the president. Biden is not. Something I mean, y'all would have learned then. Yeah, Bishop Shear, it cost them both his parents. It's unfortunate. But they didn't have a prophet around to tell them, look, this ain't what you wanted to play with. Because if you got any underlying diseases, you out of here. But they won't just coach it now. Oh, it wasn't just coaching. There are churches that are no more because COVID killed everybody. All the leadership gone. Because they kept coming to church. So this is the dumb that we're going to have to help. How do we help it? Help make the world smarter by telling your nearest dummy. Help the world get smarter by telling your nearest dummy that they are indeed stupid. So they can have an epiphany. Maybe then they run to Google or run to a book and then make a decision to get saved. Remember, Jesus come to save the soul, which is your mind. The largest part of your soul is your mind. So if you in this chat and you stupid, I want you to know you ain't saved. You can't be. Because he coming for your soul. Your mind have to be made all over again. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. What the hell you think that means? That boy was in there like 12, 13 teaching. You was dumb, ma'am, sir, and you need to be delivered. And the way that you're going to get delivered is accepting Jesus into your heart, soul, and mind so that you can, I ain't really emphasize mind like that, but here. So that you can just get smarter. Do you know smart can cure the church? Every issue in the church right now because all rooted in dumb. Every issue in the black church right now is rooted in dumb. So if you want to help make the world smarter and save the church, tell your nearest dummy that you are indeed stupid. Nobody's listening to you anymore. Hand us the mic, get off the stage. You're a dummy. You just preach good, but you stupid. The prayer today for every stupid person should be, Lord, make me smarter. And I want you to do this while you're sitting in front of your computer on google.com at your nearest library. And wait for the whispers of the Father to come in your ear and tell you what to go read. He's going to make you smarter, but you're going to have to put in the work. There is a dummy near you right now that needs you to tell them that they are indeed stupid. And if you tell them that, you're going to save them. And you're doing the work of the Lord. Because we can't take no more of this. We're done. We can't handle no more stupid. It's just been too much. All right, look what else y'all said in the comment section. Ugh. Somebody said, do you tell them to stop when they're insulting Larry? So who's MW? Let's see what MW said. I feel like having a little fun in the chat. Let's see who I'm going to read today on the Lord's Day. Let's see. MW, you need to stop insulting people just because people don't see your way. This conversation, now this is proof of dumbness. Because nowhere in this conversation am I insulting what anybody believes or the way that they see anything. Because I said over and over again, y'all know I'm a proponent for you to believe what they believe. I believe whatever I believe. But the moment you start coming at what I believe, then you invite me to now make an analysis of what I think about what you believe and how you act. So the dumb is because of a lack of education. Now you stupid because you can't even hear. And that's the result. When people can't hear good, it's because they don't spend enough time reading. Them two faculties, reading and comprehension. That's how we took it in school when I was in school. It was one course. You failed it, MW. Let me keep looking in the chat. Fully, completely rooted and dumb. Got to be plucked up. Yes, those numbers are going up in Florida. Please don't come over here putting other content creators in my chat. That's gonna get you blocked. Let me see what else y'all saying. Singing, Lord, deliver dumb. Cause all I see out here on these streets is dummies. Dummies. Long deliver me from dumb, cause all I seem to do or see on these streets is dummies. I don't see what is in there. Let's see. Okay, so you keep saying stupid stuff. Let me just block you and send you on your way. You know, you won't bringing anything. You said, "Sir, I'm a child of God. Bless my business during COVID-19." That's great, but your mind wasn't blessed, because then your reading and comprehension would be good, because you are reviling me for something that I didn't even say. That means you weren't listening. So I can't help but think you stupid. You may not be stupid, but you act like it. Let me see. Let me see. I'm about to be singing that all year. Ah! They're not smart enough to hush. Oh my God, that's a good way of putting it. Oh my God. It's fine if you hear and disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with disagreement. I just can't with dumb. Let me see. Ooh. All right, I'm looking through the chat. I'm not saying anything to respond to. Oh, I did say I'm gonna drop the link, didn't I? That may get too long. Listening is a part of learning. That's how come I can't help but assume MW is stupid, but they may not be. Went to the basement. What? The only one I know that was I sing. I'm a baritone, so I can sing bass straight with no issues. But when I get excited, I have a stretch range though. But I can't sustain a tenor note long. I'm a baritone. Oh, I didn't read some of the comments. Oh, let me read some of the stupid comments. Let me read some of the stupid. Okay. I see you get fit with Corey. I be cutting up with him on his inbox. Okay, here's some of the comments up under that post I put. A lot of you asking who the person was. It wasn't just one person, but one platform is bigger than the other. The question of mystic. What's a mystic? You know what somebody said? I'm not making this up. You can go up on the comment section and check. Somebody said that a mystic was a psychic. When I tell you, I put that phone on my chest, I was laying down, and I hollered for a good 2 minutes, laughing at the insanity of it all. The only thing they had to do was Google. That's all they had to do. It's just Google to find out what a mystic was. But for those of you that was in my school of prophets and mystics, I got that slide in here. I'm gonna share it out here. So let me see. to tell you what a mystic is. A mystic is any person who has attained and continues to apprehend elevated states of consciousness and knowledge through discipline, devotion to prayer, meditation, and or some form of non-religious spiritual practice. Keyword is non-religious. Screenshot that and use it whenever you see that stupid comment, because it's clearly, other than my mentor, but I guess I'm out here farther on their social media, I'm the only person using the word mystic as a Christian. And because of that, I'm getting flack for it. Did you not see what the word means, how I define the word, which is in keeping with this proper meaning? But this is the way that I defined it in my school. Dumb as hell. There's no other way to put this. It's just dumb as hell. Genesis said, strong and want wrong as always. SMH. I'm gone. She can't take it. She texted me, she said, Reid, how you take it? I said, girl, it's just how it's been. I'm used to it. Chad Lewis says something smart. He said, I think people need to concentrate on their sheep and not others. Agreed. Listen to what Rhonda E. Williams says. Definitely Reid, not the same. It's one thing to sit there and dance, shout, and church every week, but it's another thing to teach the principles of God's word so that we can live abundant life that Christ gave his life for. A to the darn man. Now, that's a smart person in the comment section. Listen to what Gerald Perkins said. Now, this is entertaining. He said, mysticism is just another form of witchcraft. It's neither of God. It's either of God or some other deity. God has no mystics, only seers and prophets. Now, those that was in my school of prophets and mystics, this made their brain scramble because it makes no sense. Because we understand what a seer is, we understand what a prophet is, and we understand what a mystic is. Now, he said God has no mystics. Now, look at my definition. Or you could have went to Google. So God is not in the life of somebody who has disciplined prayer and disciplined meditation and who have elevated states of consciousness. You see why it don't make no sense to those of us who got sense. Oh my God. He said it's false teaching. Oh, I look what Mary Cannon put. She said, mystics, the sense of some form of contact with the divine, of transcendent, often understood in Christian traditions as involving union with God. In reality, one who has personal relationship with God. Mary Cannon, hand claps for Mary. She got it. She got it. She probably just Googled. Yo, this is a shame in this chat. Then listen, on a note, I would be nice if my name was that. To Yolanda Delea Shania Sanders. She said, it's not about money because of what I said. Now, this is something else that comes up whenever I make certain statements. So it's not about money, but all about your soul. God is soon to come looking for a church without spot or blemish, and money won't be able to save you a place in eternity. He who saves souls is wise. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where a spirit from Jesus Christ needs to come into your mind and decolonize and deconstruct. Because what she is saying is exactly what was in the slave Bible teacher's mouth. To make Black people think about eternity and the hereafter versus money here. That is something that I would never teach, and it's what I was raised up under. This is horrible. They taught us to look at, I was raised, I'm not saying anybody did it on purpose, but to believe that being rich and being an actor and being famous or being known, a celebrity, all of that, to be on Bobby Jones' gospel stage, that happened to people who compromised and are not saved. Having money was evil. Not having money was suffering with Christ. That's how I was raised. And now I am the opposite of all those things. Bobby Jones, his last hurrah, called for my group to sing on stage. So I have done and defied everything that they said was what somebody do who ain't saved. And I still talk in tongues, still heal the sick, still tell the future, still help people problem solve, bring deliverance to so many different people out, and still save. So who was lying? They were lying. Or they were saying the lie that was passed down to them. See, we got to break all of this poverty that is in our Christianity. It was put there by the slave Bible teacher and preacher. And on some level, tell the truth, Black people. On some level, you do believe that you are much closer to God if you don't have riches, or that riches mean that you're away from God. There's something that Black people believe about money and Jesus that ain't right. Because only in our community, we get mad at the Reverend Ikes, who are multi-millionaires, if not a billionaire he was, and a preacher. Well, he got all that money. Look at the members ain't got no money. That means the members are not following the same God that the pastor is. I used to think that he taking all the money from the members and he living good and they ain't living like nothing. That's few and far in between. And if you have that situation, then there is robbery or there is something that is going on that is weird. But the pastor shouldn't be the only one with a Bentley. The pastor shouldn't be the only one with the Rolls Royce. The pastor should not be the only one with the Mercedes, a BMW or whatever. It may start out like that, but that's not how it's going to be 2-3 years down the road. He shouldn't be the only one with a nice house, or she. Money keeps the body alive. How can you save a dead person's soul? I guess you pray for hungry people instead of buying a sandwich house away. Thank you, April May. Yes, Daniel Baker, you are exactly right. You say, however, there are white church folk who think the same. It's a certain kind of white person. But see, what you got to understand, a poor white person, the only difference between them and us is their white skin. To their community, they might as well be Black. And I know y'all don't want to hear that, but they're looked down upon the same way. So that community, that white church community that believe that, they're poor and uneducated and voting for Trump. Yes, I love the way you put that. Poverty is a sin. Absolutely. Not having money is a sin. If you don't have money, the question is why? And we're going to find where your sin is at. I know what I'm saying, you don't like it. So, Reid, are you saying the Bible is wrong now? Did I say that? See, this is how come I think you probably are a stupid person. Because you keep hearing stuff I ain't saying. You know what it probably is? What the truth I'm saying is triggering the lie in you. And so you're looking and scanning me to hear more of what you already have heard, which is a lie. And I'm a truth speaker. So that's never going to happen. So you can't watch me looking for what you heard somewhere else. You can't do that. This is probably the first time you've engaged a true prophet and apostle because they speak from another world. So you're going to hear things that I say, and it's going to trigger cognitive dissonance. And you're going to get mixed up and hear me say stuff I ain't said. That's what's happening with you, MW. I could help you, but I know you can't afford it. By the way that you're talking, you cannot afford what you have to give me to get me on the phone. The poor be with you always because somewhere's going to be committed to ignorance. Amen. Yeah. Ignorance is poverty. See, poverty is a state of mind. It's the result of impoverished thinking. So it is a pattern of thought, not just about money, but about life itself. So in order to cure somebody of poverty, you have to literally go into their cognitive capacities and complexities and do rewiring. This is why we lay the hand on the forehead chakra, sometimes called the third eye chakra. This is why we lay hands on the crown of the head, the top of the head, and or sometimes it's called the crown chakra. We may lay hands right here in the throat chakra or down here in the belly because we breaking up because head, heart, and belly, that's where your neurological system is. Those are neurological pathways that determine how you think and behave. This is why you can't eat everything because it'll literally mess up your mind and your thinking. That's why a good witch know that if I'm going to do spell casting, witch or spiritual person know, I need to fast. This is where we get fasting really from. It's from Africa because we understand we want to catch the spirit. We have to become buoyant in our bodies. That means we snatch the meat away and we go to vegetable and fruits. So then in the transcendent experience that we can fly and go with spirit. When we lay hands on you in these areas, what we are doing is sending the ghost of God, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, to go in there as a surgeon and do rewiring to change your taste, your appetite, not just for food, but also as relates to just life in general. You know, the lust of the world, the lust of the eye, the pride of life. And also when it comes to what it is that you are listening to and entertaining yourself with. This is why we lay hands. Maybe that was too much. But anyway, next conversation I'm going to find in the chat. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to hand clap this person because transparency is a blessing. This is a blessing. We have to celebrate this. This kind of stuff and Patreon, I love. This rare. We don't see this We're going to use when people that happens and then they just fade away and then they come back years later. They don't come out on the World Wide Web and tell on themselves. But that's amazing. Start just like you did before. Get right back in Patreon on that line on Sunday and Wednesday and watch what happened. And then, of course, every time you donate, you can get one of the prophets and counselors on the phone and let them get into that. They can tell you where you went wrong, how to make it right. I give you, let me tell you something. I've seen God turn stuff around 21 days. Let me see. Let me see. I'm going down. I'm looking for some of the stuff y'all said. Could I define sin? Who asked me that? Where's the question at? I passed it. Can I define sin? I think I got a flyer in here. Then what sin is? Yep, here it is. Somebody asked me what sin is. This is according to Larry. Now listen, this ain't nothing new. Anybody was in my ministry 25 years ago, I'll tell you, this is what he's always said sin was. If anything, I've built it out over the years. This is what sin is. This is what sin, where my definition comes from reading the Bible. Let me just make this clear. My definition of sin, as well as mystics and all that, it comes, my basic knowledge, the first book I fell in love with was the Bible. And then I started reading other books. It comes from that. See, y'all was listening to whatever the preacher told you he read out of his Bible. And there were some preachers that I was listening to in my life. There were. But I've never been the type of dude, still today, to I just take whatever you say. I research the thing, I sit with it. When my mentor, Bishop Jordan, first taught on the Taruma in March of 2019, this is what I said, no lie. I said, I'm already giving you my time. They told me you was that money man. Here you go with something that's another reason to get some money. So I just totally blocked him out. He mentioned it again. I said, so the Taruma ain't but two. So the 10% we give to the house of God. The 2.5% we give to the mouth of God. We supposed to do that first. So then I opened up my Bible, Malachi 3:10. Said, bring all the tithes. S. I said, wait a minute. When I give my tithe, it's one tithe. So maybe he's talking about because he's talking to a whole lot of people. I said, wait, but is there more than one tithe? And I started looking. I said, wait a minute. There's more than one tithe. There's several different tithes. So when I heard him say 2.5% is the teruma, it's what you're supposed to give before the tithe. It's the tithe to your priest, your personal prophet, your supervising priest that's a worthy priest, qualified, your personal prophet, your mentor, the chief inspirer in your life. That 2.5% is supposed to go there, and then you tithe. And it's the 2.5% that blesses the tithe. I said, but it ain't but that's $25 every $1,000. Okay, I'm sold. I'm doing it. It's my mentor. He doing it, so I'm gonna do it. And I started doing it before I fully understood it. Everything that you hear me say and teach, it comes out of my knowledge of the Bible. Basis. Because I read that thing 7, 8, 9, 10 times over and over when I was a teenager. Because I was looking for life more abundantly. So let me tell you what sin is. This is what it is. You can screenshot this, but this is Larry Reid. Number one sin is, it's not in no particular order. It's not thinking rationally. Irrational thinking is sin. Let me tell you how sin pops up. Somebody say or do something to you. You get caught up in your emotions. And then you start thinking to do stuff that is stupid. I'm going to grab that round the throat and I'm going to choke them out. You caught up in the moment, and so you're irrational. Whenever you're not thinking clearly, you're going to sin. Put that in the chat. Whenever you're not thinking clearly, you're going to sin. It's going to happen every single time. Every single time. Every single time you are going to sin. No ifs, ands, or buts. Anytime you've been irrational and erratic, you're in a space and in a place where sin is going to show up. And you know sin leads to death. All right, let's keep looking. You asked me this, I was about to get off. Sin is the practice of anything that is harmful to yourself. Drinking too much, harmful to the liver. Smoking too much, harmful to the lungs. Some of you can't do it at all because of what it does to your body. Masturbation, some of you, is harmful to you because it's a gateway drug for some of you. Some others, it may not be. The practice of anything that is harmful to others. I think that's pretty clear. Next thing, the acceptance of anything that is less than God's will of good for you. See, that's why you ain't going to go over there and try to get her husband. Because number one, that's not nice to do to her. So that's anything that brings harm to somebody else. And number two, what are you doing? Why you unclick it? Oh, I did it? Okay, no. And number two, the reason why you're not going to go get her husband, you think that God can't give you a man that's free and clear for marriage and he got to give you that belong to somebody over there. It seems like to me, baby, you settling. Why is you going to go and marry this here man who don't have his whole life together and you're going to have to go in the role of mom to raise this little boy up to be an adult man? Don't you think that's less than God's will of good for you? It's sin to you. And in order for sin to be accomplished in you, you have to first be out of focus, distracted, or hijacked. No one that is focused on their assignment and present within themselves will commit a sin. Living a sinless life is possible in this context. Living a sinless life in the context that the church teach you is impossible. And it was designed that way by whiteness. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying. It was designed that way by whiteness to keep you powerless and under his authority. But sin, the way that I explained it, will cause you to show up as your best self and your most powerful self, your most wealthy self, your most healthy self. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yes, it's the exact same way. Mother Stacks will do nothing but hit you in your chakras. She didn't know she was doing it, but she was following the Spirit. The Holy Ghost in Mother Stacks is the Holy Ghost that created and made the beginning of this world and was dwelling amongst the original people, which is African indigenous people who practice these kind of practices to impart the Creator into each other, to connect each other to the Creator. The chakras is nothing but points on the spine, and the nervous system even back this up. If you want to supercharge your entire body, only thing you got to do is put your back up against the tree with no shoes on in the woods, and you can recharge your entire body and realign your whole self spiritually. And that's a work of the Spirit of God that is in the earth. But in the church, we didn't do these things. So then you had spiritual people like Mother Stacks who would then put their hands on your wheelhouses that are directly connected to your spine and wake up your spirit. She called it shots, but I know what that is. Someone says chakras are evil spirits, you said? You can't get no dumber. You can't get no dumber. You just can't. The white Christianity, Western Christianity, has made Black people so programmed in white interpretations of spirituality and Christianity that they're separated from their power. Do you know there are certain parts of Africa and in the Caribbean to where white people could never colonize? These were the places where people were actively into African spirituality. Because the African or Black American that plugs into African spirituality is going to realize power. Power in themselves and in and with God that cannot be subdued. And some of the ones that they had to take over, this is not in a lot of history books, they had to muzzle the women, because when the women will make certain noises and sounds, spiritual sounds, that things would begin to happen that would subdue the colonizer. Now, let's back it up all the way to Bible times. You see this in the text. He sent the choir out with nothing but a travail. And the choir travailed and they sang where the text put it. And then things begin to happen. And we're seeing another text that begin to make noise. And they begin to kill each other. Or the wall of Jericho came down after they went around it 13 magical times. And there's a magic in the number 13. I know y'all think it was 7, but you ain't count right. It was 13. Oh, Lord, I did not come up here to be nobody pastor today. I'm not answering them dumb questions, Kendall. That's an old dumb question. Okay, somebody keep talking to MW. So he just refused to be cordial in the chat. So let's go ahead. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Reid, this is what I'm trying to get you to see. Don't insult people. You don't know what we are going through. I don't give a fuck what you going through. You come over here in my chat talking sideways. I never just give an insult. You earn it. So I don't care what the hell you going through. No, I thought I was about to block him. He's trying to have a conversation. It ain't too bad. I can deal with that. I can deal with MW. Let me see. Am I missing something? Oh, this is the lady who comment I read. No, that ain't her. They responding to her. Well, she's the one that said something stupid. Yeah, she said something stupid in the chat. I read a comment. Let's read some more dummies. I believe that we should live an abundant life, but what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Oh my God. Y'all don't know this is white folks' writings in the Bible. It's made for us to keep us thinking about over yonder, over their glory, and not get our money here. It's both that we have to strive for. We can't take that money with us, but we should leave an inheritance for our children. One thing that the many in our Black culture has failed to do. I want Black people to stop quoting that text. What profits a man to gain the whole wide world and lose his soul? Stop quoting it as it relates to money. Get that out of your consciousness, or money's going to run from you. Whatever amount of money you got is way less than what God got for you, because you letting this stupidness live in your mouth about money. Get rid of that. You gotta have a different conversation around money. That first of the month zodiac prophecy, y'all missing out. So let's explain that so folk think it's something that is not. Well, I ain't got to explain that here. The patrons know. That's the word, Miss Bynum. That's a whole word. None but the righteous don't shall see God. I live holy. Let me see. Okay. Absolutely. Sure did. Yes. Come, you better know your history of your people. You make fun of what you can't master to understand. I don't know if she's talking to me or she's making a statement. Usually church people demonize what they don't understand. Ooh. But Larry, all that you're saying is in the Bible. For example, Jacob and Peniel, where he met God, the oppressor knew, but veiled it. But us musicians know a secret language. But you know, most black people read their Bibles with white lenses. Is what's been passed down to them. Let me see. Somebody said Jeremy is here. He did come a little bit. He came showed a little piece. Tamara, what you mean the door is locked? You talking about the door to Patreon? You said don't Hindus balance chakra? Prophets can too. I had to do that the other day for a friend of mine. It was this terrible situation. You said MW what? Oh, MW, he'll be all right. He can stay in here. He ain't nothing serious. He just going back and forth. It's not nasty. You think it's nasty? I don't think it's nasty. It's a little irritating, but it's not nasty. It's not nasty. Oh, you better come in here and preach that word. Preach that. Whew. Please, somebody preach that. We don't hear enough of that. You ain't getting a notification no more, Tab? That's why you got to be plugged into the text community. Okay, hold on. No one said it's a sin to have money. It's a sin when you love money more than God because you would do anything to get it. I have a question. Why do we think, now I know these answers, why do we think that loving God and loving money cannot happen at the same time? You're never going to get the money that there's an amount of money that you are supposed. I'm about to help you for real. Can I help you? Can I help you? There is an amount of money that you were born to have. That money was in the plan of God before you were born. Talking like this will cause that money to run from you, and you will settle for the money that this capitalistic society will pinch out to you for slave labor. God and money is the same in the life of a follower of Jesus Christ. They are not separate from each other. You have got to speak differently. The opening of your third eye isn't good. Okay, let's not call it third eye. Let's call it the opening of your spiritual eyes. Let's call it that. When people say, we get caught up in what people are calling things, I don't care. But I know a story in the Bible where the servant of the prophet couldn't see what the prophet was seeing. And so he put his hand over him and he began to whisper a prayer or cast a spell, however you want to put it, and said, Lord, open up his eyes. Now, this was someone with two eyes, if we believe the text. But there was another set of eyes and another seeing. So Christians, we know there's another set of spiritual eyes or eye and another sight or seeing. So why the fuck are we getting caught up on terms? I can't. And everybody that think money is sin, send it to my church. All of you that's got that sent, ooh, it's nasty. Ooh, it's real nasty. I agree with you. Give it away. Give it to my church right now. What's the day? The 13th, August 13th of 2023. $13.23, please. To the MBN network, put your name and number in the memo. $13.23. 13 is the 13th day of August, and this 2023. $13.23. Please put your name and phone number. That nasty money, all that nasty, sinful money that ain't no good, just send it to my church so we can use it for something great. Okay? Cash App $ MBN network. Some of you ought to send your tithe and offering right now to my ministry because I done taught you more in this live than your pastor did in the last year with his dumb ass. Okay, let me read some more comments. Everything the church tells you to run from, we need to run to. That's really the truth. For one reason or the other. For learning, for observation, for understanding. Yeah. Because this whole keep you away from stuff and not go here, not do that, not experience that. I don't know if that's good. Some people, that maybe they don't need to. But I don't think that's something for everybody, for the masses. Yeah, slave labor meaning a job, absolutely. As a follower of Jesus Christ, you should be working for yourself. Oh, here I am talking patron stuff. You should be working for yourself. You should be a contractor. If you are an employee in one situation, organization, or company or corporation, that's fine as long as you, as a follower of Christ, you've been a contractor or entrepreneur somewhere else. Otherwise, you are not walking as a follower of Jesus Christ, not of the apostolic kind. You're not walking as an apostle would with Jesus. You're not. That is sin. I know some of this is probably rocking your world because I know y'all not hearing this. I love that I am money and money is me. MW, you couldn't be wronger as relates to me. I agree with you when it comes to some of these other people, they do, but not me. That's the reason why after this live, I'm gonna eat me some ramen noodles. There's certain things I do purposely to stay connected to where I come from. I often think about living in my car, washing up around the corner somewhere in the sink. What you sense from me is a irritation and also an extreme love that I have for my people. It's almost like the parent that will say, I'm whooping you because I love you. Of course, I ain't whooping you, but I am telling you some hard truths. And it's because I hate that you were lied to where you think poor is your portion. Your riches were stolen from you. Every black person in the chat, I want you to write in the chat this reality. White people stole my money. Now, we're not talking about everybody in white skin. We're talking about a system. But I need for you to put it in the chat just so you can have this awakening. White people stole my money. And what did they do with your money? White people stole your money and then they disseminated it, distributed it amongst themselves, made themselves powerful here in America. And then in 1790, they done the Naturalization Act and said, in order for you to be an American, you got to be white. After stealing us from Africa, still stealing all that we were and had, come over here and build. Now in the 1700s, they want to say, in order for you to be, I want you to hear what I'm saying. In order to be an American, you have to be white. It's really sad. Then they gave a whole bunch of land and money and stuff to indigenous people, the people that was already here. Now, some of them were Africans. You know that, right? Because the American Indian is black. It's Africans that came over here. Did y'all know Christopher Columbus was actually following the map and the instructions of Africans that were already in America and have been living? The Africans were telling him where to go. But y'all never hear that story. We were already here. Thousands of years. So then they gave them in the 1900s, they gave them some money. Then in 1954, the year my parents were born, they gave Asians all this money. They never gave us a payout. They took our money, kept it for themselves, gave it to Native Americans, and gave it to Asians. So that's what you sense when I'm talking to a black person that would use the Bible to excuse poverty and can't look in it and see what I saw that brought me to this point. And let me kill this too, because that people got money like you. I left my parents' home at 17 years old. I have worked for myself ever since. I didn't get here last year. I've been well off for several years. I just ain't had this much that I got now. I ain't been broke since them days have been in the car. That's over 20-something years ago, however many years that was. So I don't want you to think I'm new money. I'm new millionaire, but I'm not new money. Okay. Absolutely, you're right. That's that in excess thing. Okay. Let me go on. I guess I'm done now. I'm still looking through the chat. I am money and money is me. I love that. Oh, I got that, Daniel. I'm clear on that. It came through. You said who was drinking to not get drunk? That's weird to me. Well, I can't change the Bible. That's what it said. Be not drunk. So you drink till you get that buzz and then stop. You can't be drunk because you're supposed to be sober. How can you be sober in mind and drunk at the same time? Yeah. And that can mean other drugs too when it comes to sobriety. Right. Ain't nobody saved but me. Ain't nobody saved but Reid. That's a joke, you guys. I'm not serious about that. Let me see. What Marco laughing about? Why say Lord Jesus? I must have said something he don't like. Yes, that now you talking some sin stuff now. We're gonna hear nothing, but they're talking about money. They don't want to talk about chicken, fried chicken. Yes, you left staff and only work contracted. Now you are a follower of Jesus Christ. Let's see. Let me tell you why everybody's not in my Patreon, because there's a standard that is held to. Like some of the things you heard me say is a little tight, because you are not going to sit up under my teaching and stay the same. You're not doing it. That's why I don't have no physical church sitting nowhere, because this puts people in a frame of mind that I'm gonna end up killing folk, because that is not. I'm so glad to be doing church in the cloud. Hell, he said he coming back for a church, and he coming back on the cloud. Ain't what they say? So I'm actually going to be in the right location for rapture. Y'all ain't. You're going to be in buildings. By the way, but yeah, I just think that that don't interest me. I don't know how y'all do it. There's no way I'm going to church and giving my money to all this kind of stuff, and then my life not better. I'm not going to do that. And y'all like doing that. Maybe you like the dancing and shouting and the transcendent experience, the ring dancing and stuff. I mean, I get that, because there's nothing like that, but it's not enough. I'm gonna be at the house. Sorry, I'm gonna be at the house. Michael said, I am going to eat fried chicken, so you can go ahead and get off of that. Michael said he's gonna eat fried chicken. I can go ahead and get off of it. I know that. Remember what your daddy died of. Remember that. As you think about that. And see, that's the reason why I say I ain't got time. I'm not leaving my children here without my wisdom. And if I die, oh my God. Oh my God. That is going to be a mess. So I'm living here. That's why I'm not eating everything I want to eat. And it's 10 o'clock and you about to eat fried chicken, Marco? You dumb as hell. And your father just had a heart condition that he died of. That is the dumbest. That's sin. See, that it's that kind of stuff like that I like. I get hold of around the neck and try to choke out where it can't breathe because that is irritating to me. So I don't get caught up. Michael said he didn't say that. Well, Kendra told me you said it. I should have known he won't write.
You're not gonna do that. I read Michael's comment. You took it somewhere else.
You said I was referring to what? The comment the lady said, oh, okay, all right. So I said, don't do it, Michael. But you know what? It probably was prophetic. I had to text Josh because Josh is with him. Oh, I hope your mama watching, Michael, as I highlight your comment. Michael said he ain't say that. Okay, you see, we have to understand that there are parts of the body that haven't tapped into certain revelation yet, so this is good. Yeah. But it's like that part of the body wanting to make the other part of the body wrong versus saying, okay, let me understand what you're saying. Ouch. Now, Michael is Reid's best friend. He's telling the truth regardless. We'll see. Now, patrons know that. What y'all see here on Larry Live, me telling you the truth. See the post I put earlier today? I said you need one friend that's a confronter. I'm that friend for everybody in my life. I'm like, well, hold on. What you just said won't right. And you just said over there, you just said you hate for this girl to call you. And you say, oh gosh, she calling. You pick up the phone to me, hey, how you doing? I said, you fake. That's me. Look at Tamara saying, apologize to Marco. They love that cat pastor. Y'all know I love them too, but I know I'm straight to it. Look, there go said, but I would eat fried chicken, so bye. I know who I'm talking to. If he ain't said it, it's no biggie for Marco at 10 o'clock at night to go get a cheeseburger. Yeah. That's what I'm done with buying in America. That's all I'm gonna say. Kenneth. Done with buying over here. Marco, do you see? Marco is cussing at you, Natasha, right now. That's not going to happen. Yep. Okay, all right. We've had a long conversation. I haven't been on 2 hours in a long time. Oh, my God. Yeah, I am tired. I done had church and stuff today, the teaching, the old doc early in the morning. Oh, God. And then I need a haircut because y'all can see my gray patches and stuff. Ain't that bad. Ooh. You say you were baked. It was a great conversation. Thank you, MW. I enjoyed your banter back and forward. Although I'm pretty sure some of the folk I saw Joby got you together. Joe will kill you. I think I enjoyed that. Marco, you could do it though. Just flavor it the way you do chicken. I've actually had a bite of that. It wasn't bad. Yeah, we was on 2 hours tonight. It was all right. 13:20. Thank you, Pamela Brown. 13:23. If you enjoyed the chat tonight, don't you rob me. You too, Daniel Baker. I enjoyed the conversation with you. Let's see, we ain't gotta all think the same, but we can have a great conversation. But when y'all come that other way, you go low, I'm going to the gutter. I'm going in the pipes. As low as possible. I'm going straight to the foundation. Ooh. Hey, Karen Reid. You know, when we was building the studios, Karen Reid done $8,888.88 donation. Now, I want you to think about that. My mama said something that irritated me. I didn't confront about it at that moment the way I wanted to. When she was at my event and a woman jumped up and done a $31,000 donation, and everybody started doing the donation. because of basically poverty. She was saying, I'm not giving $31,000 of my money. It's like she couldn't understand that. Like we were giving it to some man or some woman and not to the work that is bigger than us. And it's really an investment. And she said, I guess they're giving her that because they got it. That's not how it worked. Karen Reid done a sacrifice of $8,888.88. And a lot of you can't even fathom that. But you go to the car lot and finance a $25,000 car, and you pay for it for 4 or 5 years or longer, or 6 years, and pay $20,000 more than what it is worth, and make that $800, $1,200 payment every single month. But your tithe and your offering, you don't give that much all year, or in a month, or in 2 months. And this is the reason why you're at the level of income you are, because your consciousness is not ready for more. You got to step up your philanthropy. You've got to step up your benevolence, and your generosity. These are the things that determine what flows to you, not the clock you punching, not the invoices and contracts that you're closing. Can you do well without being a person that gives to room and the person that tithe financially? Yes, you probably can do financially well without that. But you will never be able to do what you could financially if you do it. And not only that, the psychological, mental, and emotional benefits of alignment and financial healthiness and psychological health, that's what the giver gets. That's why the scripture says it's better to give than to receive. Let me explain this to you. If I right now looked in the chat and said, Danielle Baker, I'm going to give you $1,000. Karen Reid, I'm going to give you $1,000. Or looked in the chat and gave 100 of you $1,000 because I can. That's all you're going to get is $1,000. Oh my God, that's so wonderful. Oh my God, thank you so much. And I get all of that. You should be grateful. You should be thankful. And $1,000 is a lot of money. But the person that give you the $1,000, do you know what they open up for themselves because they have participated and showed up in a situation the same way God would, because God is the giver? Giving is the energy and the presence and the system, the programming, and the essence of who God is. I unlocked something for myself, and it's going to be far beyond that 1,000 I gave. That's why it's more blessed to give than it is to receive, because receiving has a cap. The giver does not. On that little bit of knowledge that I just gave you, that $13.23 ought to be running into the ministry right now. What you holding it for? Burger King. You just received, so your response should be thank you. And make sure you put your phone number and LRL in the memo section. So thank you, Karen Reid, for that. I won't never forget it. Thank you, Carmela Twilight. It's best to send it directly to us because only 30% of that YouTube tape. Thank you, Danielle Baker. And make sure you put your phone number in it so my prophets can call you. You need the Cash App. That's $MBN Network. Let me put it up because they some fake ones and they be done stole y'all money. Yep. It's true. Y'all been real honest in the chat. Oh, yeah, if they become a patron bonder right now, they can go back and listen to what happened this morning. Oh, there was a lot in that. There really was. I forgot. There was. Look at to my Sammy 1K. Yes, you can feed the homeless and God will bless you for doing that. But in the fact, let me tell you something about that. Let me say this. Let me move that off. Let me say this because a lot of people do not know this. Anytime you give, you're going to receive. That's no matter what. But the seed is different than just giving benevolently. If I feed the homeless, if I help my brother, I'm going to receive. Let me tell you on this. For a while, I stopped tithing and I started giving tithing to a ministry. And I started giving my tithe to my mom and dad. God blessed me. But then as I began to grow and grow and grow, the Spirit started talking to me more. And I understood that I was doing something that was improper. Because although I was growing and being blessed by giving to my mom and dad, my tithe, my dad is a pastor. I won't give him to his church. I'll give him straight to him. I began to see that I didn't have things in place. And I was comfortable giving my money to my parents or to somebody in need. I said, I'm going to do that versus tithing. And I was doing well. I was still doing over $12,000 a month. It's good to a lot of people. It was struggle for me, but it was good to a lot of people. But I always, in my relationship with God and in my life, I want to do the most profitable, the most favorable thing for the most profitable and favorable outcome. And because of that, I'm constantly changing the way I do stuff consistently because I'm always about the upgrade. And I said, no, hold on. I said, this is not right. So the financial wellness plan is this. The moment I receive something, 2.5%, I send it to my personal profit. That's the teruma. A generous man is 2%, a generous man, 2.5%. And then sometimes they're worthy of double honor. So if I receive $1,000, I send $25 to Bishop E. Bernard Jordan. And I know the rumors out there say he gave me money, but that's a lie. The first time he ever gave me any piece of money for real, happened 2 months ago. And I've been knowing it since 2018. And I couldn't believe it. But anyway, I send it to Bernard Jordan. Then $100 I send to the ministry. So the teruma is the mouth of the house, and the tithe is the house. There will be no church if it ain't for the mouth. So the $25 from that $1,000 I just got goes straight to the mouth of the house, and then the 100 to the house. Then I take an additional 100. So essentially, whenever I get money, 22.5% is already accounted for, and I live off the rest. And sometimes I give out of that too, most times. And then that second $100 I type to myself, but I put it in 3 separate accounts. One account is for the poor, stranger, and the widow. Now that's the part I give to my parents now. Before I was giving what I normally go give to the church, I started giving that to my parents. But then when I understood it was out of order, I said there's a tithe for the poor, the stranger, widow. Poor could be the working poor. Then the next part is for pilgrimages or spiritual vacations. What the Jews would do, they would go to Israel a few times a year. And then the other part is for retirement or stocks. because your future is in your own hands. It shouldn't be in the hands of the company you're working for only. So that's the financial lifestyle plan that everybody who's under my teaching is on. Now, the folk that say I'm their mentor and they're not on that, there's a lie. I just smile and be like, yeah. Yeah, you my spiritual father. Oh, you are? Okay. I ain't seen your Taruma in a year. It's a lie. Because that Taruma establishes the covenant with the prophet that's in your life, and it gives you access to what's on their life. So you got to qualify the person that receives your Taruma. When I was giving it to my parents, the tithe, I was still being blessed because it's the law of reciprocity. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, receive. But this that I just showed y'all, this goes on in my private community. And it is magic on your money. I'm going to tell you something else that it is too. It also makes you more conscious of what you're doing with your money, which changes your relationship with money. And then it causes you to be inventive, and you start finding other ways to get more money. Somebody said it shows 3 different MBN cash apps. That's because of the devil. There ain't but one. You have to put $MBN network, and it's that one. Don't choose one that pop up because it's probably going somewhere else. And put your phone number in the memo so we can call you. Look at these people saying, so true. I am a witness. Classes in there. There's so many. Somebody say there's 808 people in the chat, but altogether it's 1068. 8 is still there. All right, I'm going to go. This was a whole 2 hours and 8 minutes. Now, I ain't did this in probably about a year and a half, 2 years or more. But I hope you guys, we fuss some folk out, but maybe Dumb has learned something. All right. See you later. A war leap of love. This is the way I say, until next time, goodbye.
Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of the MBN Network, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangsta Track Queens. Streaming online at BET.plus. Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid. An examination of the Larry Reid Live show perspective. Purchase a copy today by logging on to LarryReidLive.com. That's LarryReidLive.com.